Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of My Hardcore World. I have a very fun surprise at the very top of this episode, and it's also part of the reason why last episode was a little short. I've been working on something because I have switched recording softwares. Before, I was using Bandicam because I was like, it's simple, it does what I need it to do, but then I wanted to do something a little more interesting, a little more fun, and I switched to OBS, which this is the first episode I am recording with OBS, so it might also be short while I get used to it. And with OBS, I can do a lot of fun things, and I kind of fell down a rabbit hole, and I think I'll just show you guys, because I can click this little button right here, and we have a whole new setup. I really like it. There's a little PNG tuber at the top right corner. It's me, the little Benji bee, and yeah, I think this might change, by the way. This is very experimental, just seeing how I like it. It might change depending on what you guys think. Please tell me what you guys think. If the background is too bright, that's one of my main concerns. But right now, this is what we're working with. For the first time you've been using OBS, and it seems pretty fun. So, we'll just get on with the normal episode because I have okay. I have some fun things to do at the top of this episode. I was working on some builds because I remember last episode I said I was going to work on this house, but I didn't really have any solid ideas. So I went into a creative world, did a lot of test builds. Many test builds. And I settled on this being a little fish shop, so we're going to work on that today. And also, if we run across this little bridge here, we are going to work on the windmill. Now let me tell you guys. This windmill gave me so many problems in my creative testing world. I remember saying, oh, I love working on windmills. And then I went into creative testing world to try to build a windmill without reference and then with reference because it was a nightmare. I just could not figure it out for the life of me. I built it maybe like 4 or 5 times, tore it down, and rebuilt it again another 4 or 5 times. And it was truly maybe the worst time I've had trying to plan a build for this world. But I figured it out. Thank God I figured it out. So we're also going to be working on that today because that'll kind of finish up this area. Not finish it up because I still do want to add some things here. Let's fly. But I think it'll make it look... It feels like it's missing something, right? It's very one note right now. The lighthouse, or not the lighthouse, the windmill I have planned is made of wood and stone, so I think it'll connect up nicely with this and the animal pens, and I think it'll look really nice, hopefully. But before we do that, I think what we're going to start with is the fish shop. Does that sound like a good idea? Yeah. We're going to do this lovely fish shop in a quick little time lapse, and I think actually we're also going to do these in separate time lapses because I want to talk about each of them once I'm done because it was really fun to work on these, and it makes this town feel a lot more alive, which I feel like that's what builders are supposed to do, right? So I'll stop rambling. Alright, everybody, I am back, and I have finished building the first build of this episode, and I don't know if I love it. I do like it a lot. I love, as an individual build by itself, I think it's really nice. I think it's great. I also particularly like this area, and I just wrote random things on the sign, so I don't know if they really make sense, but I like the vibe. And also inside, I decorated it kind of badly. But it's a little shop. You can go, I just walked over the counter, probably shouldn't do that. And I made this chair, and I can sit, and I can serve people fish. Would you like some fish? I don't have any in my inventory at the moment, so I can't give you any, but, you know, I could, if this wasn't a single-player hardcore world. I might put a villager or, like, an enderman or something in there, so it's like someone's, you know, waiting at the window ready to serve someone fish. But yeah, this is the build. Let's back up and I can show you guys a little bit more. There we go. And I don't know how I feel about this build, but I do like the fish at the top, because I was looking at a lot of inspiration on, like, mostly Pinterest. Mostly Pinterest and Google Images. And I saw a lot of fish builds. And I couldn't decide on which one I wanted. I built a lot in my creative testing world. And then decided, you know what? Let's just look up a reference of the tropical fish in Minecraft. And that's what I did. And that's one of the actual tropical fish in Minecraft. I'll put an image somewhere if I can find it again. But yeah, I think it's really cute. It has a little eye. I'm thinking of putting what are they called? Banners as letters and spelling out a word up there, but I don't know what to spell, because I think it would, in the testing world, I have 5 banners at the top, but they were just blank and I didn't plan what to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we would have 2. So I guess it could be a 7-letter word as well, but I'm gonna have to think about that. Or if you guys have any ideas, of course, leave them in the comments. But I really like this build. Kind of. I think as an individual build, it looks good. I don't know. I think it's just because there's nothing around it yet, so it just kind of looks wrong. Like this is like a set of builds, right? They look cohesive, they look together, it looks good. This corner is done. That area, cohesive, put together, there's a wall sectioning it off. Even that section has like that part, and then a little centerpiece. I think it's just because this is kind of alone and by itself that I don't know how I feel about it yet, but as we get more builds in, I'm sure I'll start to like it more, and if not, we can always fix it up a little bit. But like, from this angle, I think it looks nice, especially the fish. And I think now we are going to work on this windmill, which I'm gonna say once again, in testing, gave me so many issues. I'm hoping, because it's all planned out, that building it in this world is actually kind of nice and peaceful, because it wasn't. Planning it sure wasn't. Actually, also, before I switch to that, let me go grab all of my shulker boxes. I think they're all over here. I think I got rid of the ones I was using to build the... I've just been referring to this as like a fish hut. The fish hut. Yeah, I made a new shulker box for that build because I was using mostly spruce and deep slate, and all of these building materials are stone and oak. So, anyways, let's get on with this build. Alright, everybody, we are back from building the. I keep wanting to say lighthouse, but it's not a lighthouse, it's a windmill. I'm back from building the windmill. I think it looks great. In my creative testing world, I don't have all the builds that I have in here, just the ones that give me trouble or that are new. So I didn't have these animal pens around, so I was like, maybe it won't look good, but I think it looks really nice. I think it frames everything well. Hold on, let's go back up here so I can show you guys. I think it looks great. I think it's a good stopping point for this area currently. I know we haven't done much, but all I really wanted was the animal pens and then a nice little, like, kind of like a cake topper, you know, just to make it look nice. Just something at the very end. Though I am debating if I want to make some paths. I don't know if I've said this already, but I hate the way these paths look. I think they can look good. I just generally don't like them, so if I do make a path here, it'll probably be... what's the dirt called? Coarse dirt, gravel, stuff like that. But yes, and I added some things that I don't know if they were in the time-lapse, which are the lanterns and this little ladder area, and we can go up, but there's not much up here. Can't really see out there, and there's also not much out here, but there are windows and we can see a very small part of the town. Speaking of the town, I did some stuff over here as well. I know earlier in the episode I said suggest 5-letter words to go here, but I just put dots there for now. Might change it, might not, but the thing with all the builds that I do, right, is that I kind of want to make a story for this little town, and giving something a name feels like just enhancing the story a little bit. And I'm just gonna ramble for a little bit while I run around, so don't mind what I'm doing. But the story originally on like episode 2 or 3, right, was that me, or a character, came in from the ocean on this raft into this little village and dug down and lived underneath the river next to this village. And I've slowly been building the village, but in my head it's kind of been like I'm building the village that character already arrived to, if that makes sense. Like, the character that arrived on that raft didn't arrive to the village that my Minecraft player, arrived to. And I'm only saying this because I was thinking, who is Dots? I was thinking, like, it's Dots Delicious Fish Shop. That's kind of the name of this store. And I was thinking, who's Dots? Who is that? Because I could have put Benji up there. It's a 5-letter word. Fits good. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to put my name up there. So I thought, what if the person who came on that raft was also the person who made this shop? And they were named Dot. Or maybe their nickname was Dot and they were named, I don't know. The first name that came to mind was Dorothy, but, you know, any name that has Dot, or maybe, you know, they had a dog named Dot or something like that. I think once we update, there's a spotted dog variant for the wolf, which we are going to be putting in that shop if we keep the name. But that's kind of a lot to say that it's Dot's Delicious Fish Shack, which Fish Shack, Fish Shop, one of those things. And I might put that on a sign around here somewhere. But yeah, I think that's also what I love so much about building and these specific builds is we're creating a story. It's really easy to like build a bunch of houses and they're like, it's a town, there are houses, don't think about it too much. But the fun part for me is giving the houses life and giving the place around the houses something that can mean something to the theoretical people living in this town. So I know we've built a bunch of houses over there, but I think this is the first thing that I've finally figured it out. I've finally done a story thing for this town that makes sense. And I think also in that story, I think this is one of the first things that shows up in this town, because I'm kind of building this town out of order in the way that the town actually appears. Like, all the houses next to the riverbank are theoretically the ones that appear first, and then as the town develops, it develops into more of these houses. I don't really know how to explain it better than that, but yeah, I'm very excited to... I'm done. I'll stop rambling. That's like 5 minutes of just me rambling. So sorry about that. There are sirens coming past. I wonder if the microphone got that. But yeah, I'll stop rambling. I just kind of wanted to explain, because I've been doing a bunch of builds, and it's like, why, you know? And that's why, because I want to make a story in this Minecraft world, and I think we're finally getting there. But at the end of that, we're gonna do something that's very much not story motivated, which is I need more space. I need storage. And we need a lot of it. But I think, honestly, I think that'll have to wait till next episode, which is good, because I need to scope out the area and decide on where we are putting that. I also don't know if I want to make it automatic. That's a lot of iron. And I know we have an iron farm, but that's a lot of iron. So, while I think of that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!